Foldable phones may seem old-fashioned, but the latest models can offer fun new experiences for people looking for something a little different.
That's true. Plus, there are more and more options now coming to the market. Lisa Eadicicco is now with us on set. She's the senior mobile editor for CNET. Thank you so much for being with us. And thank you for bringing in some examples of the phones. Talk about options. There's 3 of them sitting right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me this morning. So this is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5. This is the Google Pixel Fold, and this is the Motorola Razr Plus. And really the benefit with phones like this is that you can have a big screen but still be able to fit it in your pocket and have it be compact.
And I gotta say, like, we just showed a shot there, but I feel like in the shot, they look smaller than they actually are.
No, yeah.
They're actually like a pretty good size, even when they're folded. So, you know, I said to you, one of my challenges is I like the idea of a foldable phone, but I'm in the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah.
What do you think has been, that's what's been keeping me away from it. What do you think has been keeping people sort of away from foldable phones? Why are people hesitant?
Yeah, so I think the fact that Apple doesn't have one is certainly a big one. Apple, along with Samsung, is one of the biggest smartphone makers in the world. But I think the other thing is price. These phones are very expensive. So these little flip phones, like the Galaxy Z Flip 5 and the Motorola Razr Plus, cost $1,000.
Oh, wow.
And then the Google Pixel Fold, which is meant to be more of a tablet, smartphone kind of hybrid, is $1,800.
Can you open that up so they can kind of, I guess they got some shots, but I
absolutely.
want people to see just how big it gets.
So it is big. It's like having a tablet in your pocket. So,
and I can see for certain jobs and things that would be very, very useful because you can kind of go in between then both.
Exactly.
For an everyday kind of phone, though, I am a little skeptical. What are the perks of these foldable phones besides just being able to kind of go from big to small screen?
Yeah, so going from big to small screen is the big thing. For example, with something like the Pixel Fold or the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, which I don't have with me today, it's this idea of if you're on a flight, you can open it up and have a tablet with you where you can watch a movie or read a book and then fold it up and it becomes a regular phone. With the flip phones, it's this idea of having a regular sized phone that you can fold and have it fit in your pocket. So those are the big things that a lot of these companies are pitching these phones on. But you bring up a good point. For a lot of people, that's not a big enough selling point to spend the money that you need to spend on these phones.
How expensive you're saying they are. My other concern, Anne-Marie and I were talking about, can I see one of those, the smaller ones?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like, you know, I'm very hard on phones. Everyone who knows me knows I'm really hard on a phone. My phone, both front and back, is cracked. That's what I get concerned about with these two is like, could they be more
like
breakable
the hinge,
than some of the other
hinge,
phones?
Exactly. So the hinge adds another element that can possibly break in your phone. And the earlier models were much more fragile. The newer models, like the one that you're holding, you know, Samsung has done a lot of work with the hinge, especially in this new model that just came out in August. So they are more durable than they were maybe 3 years ago, but still more fragile than a regular phone, I would say.
And I was saying, oh, it'd be nice. I wouldn't crack my front screen nearly as much. But then you point out.
Right. I feel like I need to take that away from you, actually. You don't actually have a good track record, and we can't keep these. They're not ours. So I actually think that the price is kind of in the same ballpark as a lot of these other phones, though. And phones are they're just expensive. That's what they are now. But I wonder just how sales have been going. I mean, there always seems to be new ones on the market. So obviously these companies think that there's an appetite for them.
Exactly. So sales have been growing every year, but they're still very small compared to the rest of the smartphone market. So in 2022, foldable phones are estimated to have accounted for like 1.2% of the whole market. But really where companies see this going is being the next premium phone. So not like the everyday phone, maybe not for everybody, but maybe for that person who's going to spend more than $1,000 on the iPhone 14 Pro Max or something like that. This is going to kind of fit that same category and possibly appeal to that same type of person.
Well, they are expensive too, as you point out, but if you are somebody that's going to use it as a tablet and a phone, then you just have one device instead of two, so I guess you're cutting costs a little bit that way.
Unless you're a gadget person like me that can't resist buying every new gadget. Take those things away from me right now, or I'll be handing over my whole paycheck.
It's true, and to your point, yes, you don't have to buy both devices, but in order to fill that role and be appealing in that way, I do feel like these devices have to come a little bit further in being an excellent phone and an excellent tablet and not feel like you're compromising a little bit on one over the other.
Well, I'm glad we kept them safe. Lisa Eadicicco, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.